J Smoke just joined the group. I told you to change your permissions. Wait.
What? I did change my permissions.
No, you didn't.
Investigation.
Yeah, change it to private.
Military radio.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there's a key box up here I didn't even notice before. Either way. Nah, he's fine. He just can't be in the. He's not gonna be in the chat room. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta tell him you can't be in the chat.
Yeah.
Can't be here. Can't sit with us.
Can't sit with us. Anyway, this is episode 3 of Gamerside Chat, a weekly, bi-weekly, whenever we get around to recording podcasts, where we sit around and shoot shit while shooting shit. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You got
bullets.
The Lex, aka Grizz, aka the guy who plays pretty terribly on sometimes. The one host. Whoa, sir. I don't need that. I don't need that sass. Next to me, virtually, is Mr. Dramatic himself, D. Wade.
What's happening?
And as always,
I don't think I'm dramatic, but, you know, that was
the dramatic never think they're dramatic. Also, the venerable Ed. How you doing, sir?
What's going on? I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
And everyone's favorite taco maker, Mark.
Hey, what's going on, folks? You know, chilling out here. I'm getting killed right now. This Aaron Keener shit ain't no fucking joke.
Yeah, man.
Told you.
It's
It is real out here. I've already died once.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to do in this Kelly College mission. I won't pay attention to none of these things.
Stuff on radio take too. Yeah. We gotta go upstairs to like we gotta follow the wires upstairs or somewhere around. I think he was servicing. I think. I don't even remember. So, after 10, 15, feels like 30 long years that J Electronica dropped, and yeah. I mean, I consider, you know, watch the Arash, you know, which is, you know, the Arabic word for chair, throne, you know what I mean? It's basically watch the throne too, but it feels like his hole is all over this channel. And I don't mind that hole's in it in principle, but I mean, your debut album, you can't be sharing half the workload with like, you know, a whole nother completely like set up rapper and a legend, you know what I mean?
Full disclosure, I have not listened to this album, so I am gonna have to shut the fuck up about it.
Well, I'll say this: it's worth listening to. In my opinion, it was not worth the wait. But then again, I stopped waiting for J Electronica like 2 years after he said he was gonna put one out.
We've been waiting like 11 years.
No. I haven't been waiting. I've been knowing that he's been talking about it for that weird time. I stopped waiting 2 years past him not putting nothing out the first time. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I learned from Detox. Something told me never to get my hopes up again. You know, I learned from that. Oh yeah, you gotta do the little purple one first. I think magenta, purple, teal, yellow in that order. But so this one right here first.
Wait, what?
I did do it. I think you came behind and fucked it up.
I didn't touch nothing.
Yeah, I didn't touch anything yet.
You gotta find the purple one. Yeah. But yeah, it was, I mean, it's not a bad album, but it's a whole lot of, it's a lot of looped beats, you know?
Yeah.
And I will say, go downstairs and find the yellow one. Yeah, I will say that it feels dated, you know? He says he did this album, you know, over 40 days or 40 nights, whatever. I feel like he just, you know.
What kind of Jesus bullshit is that?
40 days, 40 nights. But like all the songs and stuff up there, all the tracks aren't even new. That's what I was like. One of the tracks is clearly from 2009.
Yeah,
because it was Exhibit C. Yeah, they changed the name on it, but it's the same fucking track.
And that happens to be the best track on the album. That was a good one because I don't know, man. It's like, this is really what you're doing. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's
I will listen to it.
That's the thing.
I mean, J Electronica is not my first person to listen to, but that's probably due to ignorance. I will say that much.
Yeah,
he's a good rapper. He's thick.
That's the thing. He can rap his ass off, but I'm gonna say this: it sounds like a whole lot of It sounds a lot like the stuff he was rapping about back in Exhibit C and, you know, Exhibit A and stuff like that. But he puts out, good technique, but his content is real like third eye, goofy, wearing, almost Hotep adjacent type stuff. I mean, he is all like, I believe he is a member of the Nation of Islam, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I mean, the album starts out with him, it's a recording of Minister Farrakhan.
Yeah.
It starts out that way. So.
Well, that sounds great. I definitely showed up for that.
I'm being attacked over here.
As
I got
you should be.
I do like the project, but I am disappointed. I do kind of feel like it's too little, too late. I think it's like 10 tracks on the album, 9 tracks are songs.
Right.
And 8 tracks is him and Jay-Z, and I believe he got 1 track by himself, and it's only like 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Exactly.
So yeah, for your debut album, it kind of pisses me off a little bit. Because I feel
this is his debut album?
Debut album.
Yeah, and I feel like Jay Electronica can hold his own. I don't know why they decide to put him and Jay on his first album.
Right.
I mean,
well, I feel like they were both like they just had like some leftover lyrics and shit, and they just kind of pasted them together and called it an album.
Like, exactly. Like, I'm not gonna say that Jay's album, his lyrics weren't inspired, because like he's talking some real stuff. He kind of references the NFL deal and some other things on there. But for the most part, these weren't his best bars. They weren't terrible, but they definitely weren't his best bars.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I'm always about lyrics and everything. I like it. Yo, 11 years? Like, I've been waiting on a Jay Electronica album for 11 years.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people have.
And you literally put out 9 tracks.
Right.
And Jay-Z's on all of them.
Yeah.
All but one. And that's the thing. How are you going to have...
I feel like it's just as much of a Jay album as Electronica. Like,
the first person to start rapping...
I'm going to play this Jay Electronica album.
The first person to start rapping on the album is Jay-Z. Like, how are you going to get the first...
He's the very first voice you hear after, like, Louis Farrakhan.
Right. You're going to have the first lyrics be another dude on your debut album. Come on.
Yo, and like, I didn't even know it was going to be like a Jay Electronica.
Right.
So
I don't think anybody knew.
Oh, okay, he got Jay on this track. Next track. Oh shit, Jay on this too? Next track. Oh shit,
I'm
Jay
sure Jay. Exactly.
I was surprised. I was like thoroughly surprised that Jay was on every track. And as much as I love Jay, I just thought it was disappointing. I mean, it almost seemed like he was using Jay as a crutch to carry his first album.
It felt that way because I'm trying to remember where I saw it, but I can't remember.
Well, do we know how much Jay had to do with this album, though?
Well, he's signed to Rock Nation. He's been signed to Rock Nation since what, 2011? Like, Jay saw him early on, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't be surprised by that.
But I mean,
me personally,
that's like getting a Biggie album. That's like getting Biggie's debut album years later with Diddy all over it. Diddy just danced through the videos. He didn't rap all over the album. Jay was all over this album.
Like I said, it's just as much as a Jay-Z album as it is a Jay Electronica album.
Right.
Like, if I want to hear some new Jay verses, I'm going to throw in that Jay Electronica right now.
Right.
I mean, I hear exactly what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
I just think Jay-Z used his popularity to get this album played. I mean,
that's possible.
It sounds like, in a way, it sounds like it's backfired because as Jay Electronica fans, y'all are disappointed that it wasn't more of just him versus getting someone that's tried and true.
Well, I think we're disappointed in the fact that it's not an actual album. You know what I mean? That's what this thing could have come out just 10 years ago.
It's his first album, but I don't even look at it as... I look at it as like a collab.
This might as well be a mixtape, man. It might as well be a mixtape.
It's pretty much a mixtape. That's pretty much what it is.
Oh, yeah, 9 tracks. 10 tracks, one's a skit.
And one is recycled. Like, this is stuff you've heard before.
and it's like one is a song on there from like years ago that I heard.
Damn near a decade.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm down.
Well, shit, I tried. Shit, I don't know what's that.
Must have been bleeding. I don't know how.
Sounds a little disappointing, personally.
It's disappointing to me, regardless if you've been waiting the 12 years or not, the 10, 12 years, however long exactly it's been, because he talking about, you know, I did this in 40 days and 40 nights, but you have something recycled on there, and then the album sounds dated. And it's like, dude, if this is what you put out in that period of time, then what are we going to expect anything else good from you? Like, this is what we're going to expect going forward? Are you actually going to put out some new content, or is all your stuff going to sound like this?
I feel like, to be honest, it wasn't even, like you said, like it wasn't even an album I was waiting for anymore. But I mean, it was like a nice surprise to see it. I was like, oh, okay, cool, finally.
You're like, oh shoot,
I don't really care. What? Yeah, like I don't really care anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
After 11 years, I just stopped checking for Jay Electronica. He put out like one song every like 3 to 4 years.
Right. He would dabble on people's stuff. You know, he would put out a verse and stuff every once in a while.
Verses and stuff, but
it was a bit disappointing. And even the beats, I'm like,
and
the beat selection was real dated. Dude, it sounded old. Like, how do you put out a new album that sounds old?
I mean,
because it sounds like Exhibit Z, Exhibit D, Exhibit E. Like, he could have put he could have put all these songs out 8 years ago, and it would have sounded fresh then. None of them sound like new songs, except you get new Jay or current Jay, his rapping style, because, you know, Black Album or Blueprint Jay wouldn't have sounded like this. He would have came with some different bars. Granted, this is, you know, grown up more mature Jay, but man, I don't know. It's not horrible.
That sounds disappointing.
It's a disappointing project because, like you said, even though I wasn't waiting for it, like Ed said, it's a nice surprise. You hear, oh, he's finally putting this out. Okay, see if it lives up to any hype at all, or you just expect it to be better because of even the little bit of work he's put out. You know, you can tell his ability.
Right.
Like,
I just kind of feel like I've heard a lot of artists talk about how, you know, on their very first album they want to be special, they're gonna take time on it and stuff. For you to make me wait like 11 years to drop this, I feel like they kind of back there. You put Jay on every track.
Okay.
All the beats sound like he wrote verses too, and then somebody just took them and put them over looped beats.
Well, the thing is, it don't even seem like he put Jay on every track. It's almost like Jay put himself on every track because, like, it almost felt like Jay Electronica he doesn't make whole songs. It's almost like he just writes lyrics and then he'll spit them. Then he'll be like, "I'm good," and they'd be like, "Well, you're gonna need at least, you know, a couple more bars on there," and he just never came up with anything. So they put Jay on there to kind of the fluffer, I guess. It almost seems like
that. You know what? You point out a valid point because Jay, for the most part, I don't really think he makes songs. I think he just do like a long ass verse over a beat.
Right.
Like he's not a song composer. Now that I think about it,
I mean, almost sounds like Jay-Z saved this album to a way now.
Well, I feel like Jay-Z probably pushed it out because Jay-Z was probably he's a businessman, so it almost feels like he was at such a loss that he was like, well, we got to push out something, you know, because we wasted all this studio time, we wasted all this time, so I might as well push out something and see if I can get anything from it, and then we'll just cut our losses from there, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Egg beaters, and we probably need some more spinach. Yeah, that's definitely how it kind of feels, you know, like the way you said, it doesn't really sound like Jay is putting out, I mean, yeah, J&J, but it doesn't sound like Electronic's really putting out a lot of content in a way that lets you know, okay, he can carry an album. This is disappointing. I can't remember what the suppression system is.
Yeah, I don't remember anything in Kenley College. Rifle damage.
Why is this part so fucking hard?
Yeah, I told you Aaron Keener thing is it's a little difficult. Aaron Keener himself, just fighting him by itself is enough to piss you off.
Yeah.
It's just annoying right now. Just trying to go through all this shit and kill it and whatever.
Low-key vows to restore water. So
I just hit one. There's one more somewhere. I can't really say.
I think it's gonna be close near a fire or something.
Yeah, follow the yellow pipes. There's some yellow pipes around. You can see.
Yellow pipe.
Serious.
oh, it's a boss up here. The boss is up here.
I found the other one.
There's a named enemy up here.
Yeah, I see him. He's riding me up though. You're gonna be great.
Oh shit!
I'll probably
It's a
continue
bunch
to
of them
listen
up
to
here
it, and
now.
I'll probably pick my favorite tracks off of it.
There's a bunch of dudes coming.
Serious trauma. I did it.
Oh, of course this dude comes and blows me up.
Fire suppression system.
Another guy. Well, I use it as a decoy, I guess.
Agent down.
I'm seeing
Agent
down
down.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'll listen to it some more. And, because again, I don't hate it, and there are a couple tracks, you know, Shiny C3 or whatever, that sounds good. And that's probably because I like the Exhibit C, you know, back in the day.
Right, right.
An agent needs assistance.
Well, I'm listening to new Megan Thee Stallion, so
Are these dudes
That's where
blowing
I've
up when
been.
they die?
Yeah,
I'm
they're
down.
dropping grenades.
I'm down right now.
Wait, what's your name?
yeah, that Sugar album is actually pretty good. I think it's the same
It's-
amount. I
it's
think
real
it was
short,
9
yeah.
or 10.
Yeah,
I haven't listened to it yet.
It's pretty good.
It's not bad. I will say, it sounds, the songs sound, there's more differentiation in songs on this one than her last one.
Okay.
Yeah, because on her last album, a lot of stuff sounded like, okay.
9 songs.
I'm gonna try to hide somewhere. Hopefully, nobody kills me.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Savage. I do enjoy that song.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of Megan's Cakes, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But she can
I'm
rap her
looking
ass
at her
off.
as an actual artist. How
Oh
dare
no,
you,
she's a
sir.
whole fully formed person, and she's a fantastic rapper. She's really good. I enjoy her work.
But
She's thick as cold duck butter, you know what I mean? I can't, it's undeniable.
Agent down.
I'm down though. I'm kind of surrounded.
Alright,
so
sure,
it's
why not?
at the moment.
How y'all
Yes, I have
both
to
down?
agree.
And damn, Wade's not even here.
Worst timing. The worst timing.
I mean, I wish I could be there to help you guys, but I'm so sad
Let's move up top.
that I still haven't gotten out of fucking New York yet.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, I listened to Lee Jenkins' joint Circus. I enjoyed that. That's pretty good. It's only like 7 tracks. But so far, the year hasn't been, well, to go along with the trashness that is 2020, the year itself, as far as albums, haven't been that great as far as what's been put out. So.
That's why I was like, yeah, because he just sent, Smooth just sent me a thing to come to the party. So I was like, you want to tell him what we're doing or what?
Yeah. I'll tell him in a second.
Tell them we're busy becoming famous. We don't have time.
I'm probably gonna blow it up. Let me send this message.
Agent down.
Oh, are all your dogs?
Just over there. I really don't know what we're doing in this Kinley College thing. I really don't like this area.
You're winning.
It's really boring
You're
to me.
winning.
It's uninteresting.
College isn't interesting. How dare you, man? You need to sound like
Well,
an
this
intellectual.
Kinley College, like these Kinley College missions are, because you don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, you're pretty much just being thrown into all this stuff.
What do you mean you don't know what's going on? There's one premise. Kill the boss. We've had that. That's been the deal since, day one NES.
Nah, but I mean, you're not killing the boss. You're trying to complete a whole bunch of
Oh,
objectives.
now I'm down.
Oh, well, fuck that. I'm out.
I'm down.
Now Smooth. Yeah, Smooth ain't here. And Daniel's not here.
Yeah. I'm up top.
Lexi's going down.
Yeah. I was trying to run out and I got hit by a suicide bomber.
Yeah, it's too many. It's a lot of people down here.
Those guys are great, and I'm still running this. I'm still running this build. This test skill build is, gotta be using my skills more. I'm tripping.
I'm not using that. I think I'm using. I got the perfect glass cannon joint this time.
Oh,
Or
so you
any of
take
y'all
the hell
out from Any of y'all out from work because this Corona mess?
I'm
No,
not.
I
We
wish I could be.
we got an email yesterday that allows us that said we can work from home if needed, or they would prefer us to work from home if at all possible.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah. The difference is Ed's work requires some manual labor because he has to be there, and
My
Sam's
work
work
requires
they
all manual labor.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm all manual labor too. I guess I'm not. I don't think they're gonna start shutting down bars and restaurants and things. I mean,
I think small
maybe
places would
it'll
be
get
fine.
to that.
Yeah, some small businesses, I'm pretty sure they
Yeah,
probably
because
won't
you
take
guys
nothing.
can't hold like 100 something people in your restaurant, can you?
Oh, we can.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm saying they put out something saying like they don't want more than 100 people to
Yeah, we did
congregate
not do
together.
that.
Gathering all together.
Well, let me let me not speak. Actually, let me not even say where I work at. Let me. I don't know exactly because I'm not trying to fuck up nobody.
oh,
Because
absolutely
I
not.
work with friends. I work for my friends. So
You work for
I don't.
yourself.
Well, I mean, shit. Keep it real, really.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
know
I'm
these
not
people, man.
getting them
Don't put your
children.
job on Front Street.
So, but the thing is that we are a bar, but we're also a restaurant. So at night, there are a lot of people there. Since yesterday was St. Patty's, we had a fairly
Was it?
we had a fair amount of people
Yep.
out. I mean, I even saw some of my rugby friends out, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, y'all don't give a fuck about this coronavirus, do y'all? Like, y'all don't give two shits. And
Really?
He made
but
Smooth lead a group, man.
as a rugger, I was literally in Savannah the weekend,
We'll,
or I
we'll
think what
explain it to
last
him later.
weekend.
We'll explain it to him later, Ed.
No, I told him. I
And
said
Yeah,
so,
running a
I think
recorded
Lex
shit.
sent him something.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
and so, being in Savannah, we definitely. I was playing rugby, getting tackled, tackling people, seeing people I hadn't seen in a while, giving hugs and all this shit. I literally did absolutely every single thing that the CDC did not want me to do. I mean,
Right.
I'm drinking out of water bottles that other people are drinking out of. I'm playing
Gross.
sports. So, I mean, and you don't. I mean, you don't really think twice about it because you're busy playing sports. So
Right.
it's really. I mean, and everyone's drinking alcohol and no one's paying attention to any fucking thing.
Where you guys
So,
going?
I mean, it's. And the thing about it, the crazy shit about it was they canceled Savannah not Fourth of July. What the fuck am I? They canceled Savannah St. Patty's Day, which is actually a really big deal for the city of Savannah. It brings in a lot of people. I think they turn the river green. They do all this shit for it, and that got canceled. So, but they didn't cancel the rugby weekend, which that wasn't a quote unquote. Well, still not a
Hey,
pandemic, but it wasn't as bad at that moment
don't
than
forget,
it would be
guys,
for
pop out
this
this
weekend.
elevator. Yeah,
So I
I
just
mean,
find it, it's just it's
Shit.
crazy about. I don't know how far the quarantining or the act of quarantining yourself is going to go for anyone. But I do know that I do not work in a place where people who give two shits about that go. So
right.
I mean, I feel like
yeah,
for
they
the
were out.
what they call the quarantine is just my normal daily habits anyway. Like I don't like being around people any damn way. So
Fair, fair.
Hermit. Hermit protocol.
yeah,
I just follow my hermit protocol.
right. I was like,
Yeah, pretty much.
that
I
shit's
don't-
Saturday to me, man.
Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know. I feel like people should be like they should just stay away, man. Like there's no reason for you to go out and go to bars and stuff like that. Just keep your ass in your house,
That's
man.
the problem.
That's not true.
No, that's true. The thing
No,
is,
it is true.
Like,
What
right
the
now-
fuck you talking about? Yeah.
I enjoy going to a bar
No,
sometimes.
that's
no,
stupid.
no.
You can drink at
enjoy
your
it.
house, bro.
You enjoy it, but the
Yeah, you
problem
can
is that
enjoy it, but you don't need to do it right now.
social interaction is
No, not right
spreading the
now.
disease.
I know. Right now, I
Yeah.
totally agree. I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's what
Yeah,
they're
that's
talking
what
about.
I'm
He's not talking
saying.
about
That's what
general.
I'm
He's talking right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and Wade. I mean, in a way, Wade is right because definitely before I came to see y'all, I was at the bar. So
And
No,
I actually
wait,
went to
this
the
is
bar
wrong.
the other night too.
Yeah,
Against my
you got
brother.
listen.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
calling
like,
this.
do what
I'm calling
you
this.
gonna
No,
do what
no,
you
no.
want, but
I'm calling this
yeah,
CC on both of
it's
y'all
just stupid to do
because
it.
y'all are endangering us.
Right. It's just stupid because that's what's like you're not just endangering yourself, you're endangering right now the human fucking race, which is it's just crazy. Like why can't you just
They'll
sit in your
be
fucking house,
fine.
man? you don't know that though. That's why I was like,
I'm not-
everybody,
well,
I'd be at work
not-
because I work in a hospital, and people in the hospital, oh man, it's nothing to worry about because it was in China. That's why I was like, everybody's like, oh no, you're freaking, I'm not freaking the fuck out. All I'm doing is I'm keeping up on, the information that they're giving out or whatever. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. And people trying to make you feel bad for doing that. But now that it's at your front door,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Now they're like, oh man, I never. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you talking all this shit before, just shut the fuck up. Like, I just don't want to hear people's mouths, man. Like, I hate people's. I don't know, man. I hate people so goddamn much, man.
I think you literally just work at a hospital
incredible.
and you're genuinely concerned. Like,
Well, here's the thing,
work
though.
in a
Even,
place where disease lives.
Right?
Well,
It's the worst place to be.
Right. The thing is, I don't work in a hospital at all, right? But I also understand the gravity of the whole situation. There's too many people, and I kind of assumed you were a joke, Mark, but there's too many people like, oh yeah, we'll all be fine, and they don't do anything that helps prevent the spread of it. Because the thing with the coronavirus is, yes, it's not going to be as deadly to us as say Ebola or other things. Us fairly healthy adults, but for the people who aren't as healthy, it's going to be dangerous to them. And the biggest thing is the people find out they're sick with what's essentially a new disease to them, they're going to all start showing up at the hospital. We have like 970,000 hospital beds in this country, and most of them are already occupied by the Chinese.
Yeah, they're like 70% occupied already.
Right. So
exactly.
not even a million beds. So you have a couple 100,000 beds available, and you have potentially 10 to 15 million Americans that could be sick within the next few months.
Right, and instead of those people staying informed and doing what they should do, they're out just living. But I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. That's why they shut down that small community in New York.
Right.
They had to shut that fucking thing down. Like they put those guys under lockdown because people are so fucking stupid.
Hey, I need y'all to come upstairs. They're like tearing up this terminal. Like,
and then and I feel like a lot of people have bad habits anyway of not washing your hands when you leave public restrooms. Things like that. And I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, and that's and that's when nothing's going on. People are doing that shit. Yeah. So that's why I was like, people don't just develop these good habits because the CDC tells them to.
I didn't even tell y'all the crazy thing about me going out to it's called Wild Wings Cafe. Wasn't Buffalo Wild Wings. It's called Wild Wings Cafe. The other day. So,
the service down here, I'm getting towed up.
So at the end of the night, there was this dude in the bathroom throwing up in the sink because he was so fucking drunk. Yeah. Right.
Well, what's something else that people in bars do? Like, take their drinks with them into the bathroom where all the fecal matter flying around in the area. In a bar, most bars you're in fairly close quarters. It takes like 6 feet of transmission. That 6-foot radius is where you can essentially get sick. And we know people don't take the hygiene seriously. Like, there's multiple people I know who work in our office buildings. The building I'm working at has multiple companies. And I can't tell you how many people I've come across from the other companies and a couple from my own who do not wash their hands when they use the bathroom. They can go in there and take a whole shit.
Man, I've seen that
and
so
not
many
use
times.
the restroom.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many times. That shit's fucking disgusting.
Dude, I don't
and
want
my job already posted flyers everywhere saying if you come in contact, if you're within 2 meters of someone who is sick, then you need to disclose and self quarantine and stuff.
Right.
Those flyers are like everywhere right now. 2 meters.
It's a problem that we have to tell people to be clean.
That's what's so fucking stupid about it.
Adults, not kids. Adults.
And that's why I was like, even what we telling the people, it's still not going to change people's habits. So that's the whole thing.
No.
That's like they're still probably leaving their bathroom, not washing their hands, not concerned about anything, not concerned about public safety, not concerned about their families. That's what's so stupid about it.
Right. At all. Not concerned at all. And you'll have, so for example, a couple of friends of mine. One friend of mine out on the West Coast. She said that she was in a bathroom, washing her hands, and they had a sign for people, to wash their hands. And she had a coworker near her. So she said her coworker was like, "It's funny how they tell people how to wash their hands, but I never knew we had to wash our hands this morning." I was like, what?
Oh, 20 seconds?
20 seconds.
20 seconds?
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Like, that's a standard fucking practice.
Yeah, that is standard. That's
stuff
practice.
you teach your kids, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tell your kids to say the ABCs while they wash their hands.
I think you're taking that for granted.
Yeah.
That I don't think parents do honestly do that.
Dude, they told us that in school, though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The main reason why I am so, I guess, quote unquote keen on it is because of my profession. Like that's something that we just have to do as far as work is concerned.
Oh, these dudes over here shooting from across the way. We about to lose.
And so, like, me washing my hands all the time, that's just something I've just grown accustomed to. But I really don't think that people in general do that.
I mean, is it not a feeling like if I don't wash my hands, like there's a feeling of like
where I'm at? It's up to where I'm at.
There's like a feeling of like nastiness that comes around me. Like I feel like if I don't wash my hands, I'll be like nobody else feels that. Like.
Dude, I don't feel like a lot of people do.
There's a people who don't feel that.
It's like wearing your seatbelt in
there's
a car.
a group of people who can't even hear themselves think.
Right.
They don't even have an internal voice, and that was crazy to me.
Right. Yeah, we feel that.
How do you not have an internal voice? Like, how do you not hear whatever voice that you, whether it be yourself or
fucking I really hate this Kinley College
Paige Badgley from you? They don't matter. Like, do you not have an internal voice? Like, how can you not have an internal dialogue with yourself?
Well, here's
I talk
my
to
thing.
myself all the fucking time.
Here's my perspective on that. I understand that not everybody people are raised the same way, understand certain things, but how is it not just occurrence to you to say, hey, there's a reason they have sinks in every restroom I go to and there's always soap. Maybe I should wash my disgusting hands after I touch this room that dozens of people come in each hour to do the most disgusting thing that people do on a regular basis, pee or take a shit.
That's not the most disgusting.
Regular basis, not regular basis. Regular basis.
I mean, you don't know their lives?
Listen, I don't want to know their lives if that's the case. But either way, how is it not a thing to just say, oh, maybe I need to, maybe I need to just wash my hands. There's something to this hand washing thing. Let me wash my hands. I touch everything. But then again, we're in the age of cell phones where people don't think the thing I hold the most and use the most after I touch everything else. Maybe I should clean it once in a while.
Then what about the people that still think it's okay to travel? Like, I got a dude, he's still talking about going on a cruise or whatever. And I'm like, why would you do that?
Speaking of which, we got to figure that out.
He's like on a cruise right now.
I ain't going on a cruise. I ain't going nowhere.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, come on, man. We got to
figure it out.
Yo, I hate to say it, but if you decide to go on a cruise after the news is already out and they've already been holding cruises at port for 14 days, you go on one now.
Okay.
You almost deserve.
And look at the news reports about the people at the airport right now. Just look at the pictures of the thousands of people that are waiting in line to be tested that have come from Europe. It'd be stupid to be traveling anywhere right now.
That's true. So my other question is, how long do we do this for?
Oh, it's gonna be months. It's gonna be months because
it's gonna be a while.
Here's one thing: we can't quarantine the U.S. like China's doing because the U.S. is a democracy and China's a communist republic, and they can essentially use their military to shut down areas. And the people are used to that kind of thing. They may not like it, but they're used to it. You can't do that in the U.S. It's going to be probably affecting us longer here in the U.S. because of you have a freedom of movement in a lot of ways, regardless of the states of emergency and stuff like that being declared, because people are going to keep going where they want. They're going to say, oh, I feel fine. I'm just going to go where I go. And, I mean, we're in a country where people are, and I would normally say, I don't know, me offend anybody, but you're offended by this, then you probably deserve it. But we're living where people are starting to get a movement behind denying the efficacy of vaccines because they listened to Jenny McCarthy in a paper that was, essentially debunked, and the dude had to recant because his evidence behind it was bullshit, that it caused autism. And unfortunately, some of my favorite actors and one of my favorite rappers believes that garbage, but we're living in a country where people are essentially allowed to take misinformation and preach it as gospel, even when it comes to stuff to keeping people healthy. So people aren't going to stop moving around. They're going to keep moving around. They're like, oh, I'm fine. Everybody will be fine. I'm 20 years old or I'm 30 years old. I'll be okay. I don't be around old people. I'm going to keep moving around. They're going to get sick. They're not going to show any symptoms because it can be 5 to 14 days before you show symptoms. They're not going to show any symptoms. They're going to go. Well, yeah, it may be 2 to 14, but they're going to just keep moving around. They're going to keep being around a whole bunch of people all the time, and all it takes is the transmission rate is so high because people keep going in places where there are so many other people. Just stay home or stay away from other people. If you don't have to go somewhere, don't go. It's that simple. But people they're going to keep moving around. I mean, we live in a country like you will tell me what to do. That's basically the mantra of the United States. No one gets to tell me what to do.
Right.
One of our political parties is a whole thing of no one gets to tell me what to do, even though they tell people what to do all the time. But you're going to get people who refuse to stay still or keep moving around, or decide that 30 pack of tissue that they swear they need, they got to go get it, and they're going to go out and go get it. You know, so the people who actually have to go out.
Doing it though. To be honest, I think we're all still going about our daily lives.
No, we're not. I'm not.
I feel like I am. I'm still going to work.
Right, and I'm not.
I still gotta go to work and stuff.
No.
You have
to. Going to work is different. I'm talking about people who are going to do user shit.
Like going to the bar after work is
like,
not daily.
I'm sorry, Mark. That's just mad irresponsible, man. Come on.
Right. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it.
I did it Friday night.
Well, here's the other part of it, though. In my mind, here's the other part of it, and
we gotta go to the next one.
This is an issue that they've had in the United States. What if we all actually have Corona right now, like that? Like, what if we all have that shit?
If most of us have it right now, it's even more so to not be moving around and killing people who don't.
Well, this is true, but the thing is that there's not enough testing that they've been able to do for it. I mean,
but here's the thing. Assume that you might have it. Stay away from people. It's as simple as that. Right. If you don't have to go somewhere, if you don't have to be around other people, don't go. You may, even if you can track it, you might.
Because I had to go grocery shopping. That's the only reason I went out today.
Did you have to go grocery shopping? Did you have to go? Or was there another method you could have taken to get your groceries?
There is another method to get your groceries.
Around here, we don't have it like this. You know, like those grocery delivery stuff isn't as popular around here. And plus, even in the grocery store, you're talking about less than 100 people, depending on what store you're going to. And
I don't think it's fair to make that less than.
Hold on. Dude, you absolutely cannot try to tell me going to a bar for leisure is not the same as going to a grocery store for necessity. Come on, man.
I don't know.
You don't have to go to a bar.
I don't really feel like that's not even an argument.
That's not
you know
equipment at all, man. That is not equipment, though.
Definitely I don't have to go. I don't have to go to the bar, but at the same time, I don't
limiting social interaction that's a leisure activity. It's a leisure activity. You don't have to go play rugby. I understand you want to. You know, there's stuff I want to do. You know, but you don't.
Yeah, and I
have
thought
to
about
at this
that weekend too. I really did think about it. So, like, why are we not canceling this if we're worried about Corona? But then, I mean, it just said to me in my head that
it's down here in the middle.
I guess I'm going to just be, admittedly, one of those irresponsible people that are still going to live his life in this situation.
But why?
And I'm just going to own that.
Why not limit it to small gatherings instead of going to bars where there may be potentially hundreds of people?
That's what I'm not saying. You can't have your friends over and have a drink. I'm saying don't go to the public bars and stuff.
Bars, concerts, conventions that are being canceled anyway. There's a reason they're canceling these things.
Right.
I mean, it's important enough where they're shutting down school for 2 weeks now. Like,
they shut down the NBA in the middle of a game. You know what I'm saying?
They shut down the NBA.
He was positive for coronavirus.
They're talking about millions of dollars being lost. They shut that shit down.
A friend of mine, we actually went to the grocery store the other night, and he couldn't get his Western Union money because of the fact that the banks have not been giving out money due to the fact of coronavirus.
Right.
And I don't disagree with anything y'all are saying. But I think that, if anything, I am an unfortunate representation of the vast amount of Americans that are not going to take this as seriously as they should. And
but what's the
reason behind it, though? What's the reason behind it?
I appreciate that you recognize it. I appreciate that you recognize it, but why not have it? Okay?
Yeah, like, what's the point of you not taking it seriously? Is my question.
Right.
Like, what, as an adult, like, what's stopping you from?
I think it's not the fact that I don't take it seriously. I think it's the fact that I'm not looking at this as any differently than the flu season or any other terrible cold season that we have going on.
I can see that, but here's the fallacy on that, though. The transmission rates are significantly different. We live in a country where flu shots are an option that people have.
Well, spoiler alert, I have not gotten a flu shot.
And that's fine. I'm not saying you have the option.
Many years.
You have the option, though. That doesn't exist for the coronavirus. And the problem is, it's an upper respiratory infection that has a way higher transmission rate. Enough so that they have to shut down.
I also can't say to you that if they had a coronavirus vaccine that I would run up and go get it. I can't say that.
But here's the thing, though. Other people would be able to go get it. It doesn't exist.
That's true.
Here's the thing.
And I don't want to take that away from them.
here's the biggest thing. Like, you could potentially be, because you choose to, continue to go out for leisure and stuff, you could be potentially endangering other people who are either immunosuppressed, older, or, are otherwise in a state where they can't, the survivability is lower for them.
Kill an old person. You could kill an old person.
I'm not trying. What the?
But then again, I
Somebody
mean, even if you think
meanwhile-
about it, to compare it, even with the people who are considered anti-vaxxers, they brought back, what was it, like not smallpox, but
Measles?
they brought like the measles and shit, which have
Measles and
They sure
smallpox, yeah.
did.
which have which
sure,
were
yeah.
eradicated for like up to
Years.
10 years, 10, 20 years or something like that.
Oh, longer than that, since like the 80s.
Yeah,
A lot of stuff since
and
the
it was
80s.
like, because you choose. That's why I was like, if you don't live within, like society and all that stuff, you don't live in a community and all that stuff, you can do whatever you want. You live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. You don't have to, you don't depend on, you don't have to socialize or anything. That's fine. Do whatever the fuck you want. But if you live in, a populated society in modern times, I don't see anything wrong with being vaccinated, because you could catch something and then you could spread it to other people. Who
That's the
either
thing.
who are on immunosuppressants, have cancer, or on chemotherapy. That's what I was like. You're spreading things like to people who don't have a choice.
I mean,
You see
think
what I'm
about it,
saying?
I'm not anti-vaccine. Please don't take
Oh,
that.
no, I don't assume.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not that.
I'm just using
But-
it as an example,
That's what I got. That's what I
of
got.
the reason, like, what's your reasoning behind, not staying in your house or trying to prevent the spread of the virus?
Oh, we're
I
not
just
there.
think for me, I feel like the virus is already out there, and I know you should always strive to not further spread transmission, but at the same time, we don't even know how bad this thing really is, whether it's been out there this whole time or not. And literally, all of us maybe just walking around with COVID-19, and we've been
But-
doing it for the past 3 weeks,
But
maybe a month.
Isn't it another reason to potentially say, hey, we don't know how bad this could be. Maybe
Right.
I'll do my part to not be a
Take
carrier or a
caution.
spreader.
Exactly.
But I
consider-
think it's almost like saying it's too little, too late. We've
that's-
already
but
been
that's-
doing it. We've been doing it for the past month.
the problem is that's not necessarily the case, though, because one, they know where it came from, what area, what region it came from. It started in Wuhan, and it's because people are traveling from that area and becoming interacting with other people who've been in that area. Is how it's spreading, and that's how it's getting back. People bringing back on planes and stuff like that. You may or may not have encountered somebody who has it, but the thing is that you can do your part, your social responsibility, and not, being around in certain engagements that you don't have to be in
Where's it?
to help limit the spread if you can by doing your part and doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying, we're trying to keep this particular sexually transmitted infection at bay. Hey guys, use condoms. And you're like, we might already have it. Why would I use condoms? You gotta take that kind of thing into consideration when you're interacting with other people, because again, you might be fine. If you get it, you'll probably be fine. I'll probably be fine. Ed, Wade, they'll probably all be fine. But the fact that we interact with a lot of people who we don't know their own health status may or may not be fine on that, and we could help by just not doing certain social things, just a little sacrifice socially. What's wrong with doing that with the part?
Go back to the Echo so Isaac can do some data for
That's the biggest thing.
Going
I
to my Long Island.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's still comparative to, like, I'm not gonna say his name, but like back in college, we had a roommate or whatever who had the flu or whatever, and instead of fucking quarantining himself,
Right.
see what I'm saying? Instead of just quarantining himself in his room or whatever and doing what was right, basically, he sat out in the living room. He was like, I don't want to stay in my room and all this stuff. So he got other people sick. Me being one of them. Had he just quarantined himself like a normal fucking person would do,
Right.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He would have prevented all of that from happening and all that potential spread of the virus from happening. You see what I'm saying? That's what I was like. Simple steps, simple measures. Washing your hands. You know what I'm saying? Staying away from large crowds of people. Staying staying out of close proximity with people who are infected with the virus and stuff. It's pretty simple.
I mean, think about the older people in your lives. That wouldn't you want somebody who's otherwise healthy to not go around the older people in your family or friends if they didn't have to?
Right.
Like say
That's
if
what's like.
someone.
That's what's like. Are you not concerned about your mom? You know what I'm saying? Who you probably go see all the time, and and you go out, and what if you bring it home?
Right.
What if you bring it to her house?
Or even so, your mom had to go somewhere and she counted somebody who didn't have to be that same place. Like you're not
At
like
the
you got
same
to.
time, I guess in my mind, I tell myself that it there may not be some things that you can
Oh, I'm
avoid.
getting
I
a little
mean,
laggy lag.
I
Oh,
think
this is
as a
lagging.
world, we've tried to do everything we possibly can to stop the spread of this virus,
Right,
and
but
here
you're
we
kind of
are.
saying you're not trying though. That's the thing though. That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. You're
I
admitting
don't
Yeah,
think
that
it's.
but
you're
I don't
it's
think.
brand.
He's
But the
saying,
thing
I'm
is,
gonna
like, the
get it
virus
anyway,
is
so I
brand
might
new.
as well.
Yeah,
right. You're saying you're going to do it. You're going to do you regardless of what's happening. So
right.
But
in that kind of
I think
But we're
I'm
in the
not going to
beginning
pretend.
stages
But
of
there's
this
so.
virus.
This is true, and I don't think that my behavior. I should have been doing what we all should have been doing, exactly what we're doing this time forever. Like, we should always be washing our hands. We should always be doing these things.
yeah.
But the reality is, we all don't. We just don't do it. We just don't. And I mean, that's just honest. That's
I
just what it
mean,
is. And that doesn't mean that gives us a carte blanche to not ever have to think about it or ever do it. But I think it's be realistic about the actions that you truly do take from day to day, and don't
Where's the exit?
in a time of panic really pretend like your behavior is that it's going to change that drastically. You should be washing your hands all the time. You shouldn't be taking this opportunity to try and tell yourself, maybe I should start washing my hands more. No, you dumb bitch. You
right.
should have been washing your hands this entire time. So,
Yeah.
if you're just a nasty fucking person, you're probably a nasty fucking person until
So
you really want to get it together.
so
And
why
if you
not?
do want to,
Why not decide? Okay, I'm not going to be around those
Hey,
potentially
we're
nasty
gonna join
people
you, Mark.
myself. You know what I mean?
Hold on, aren't you gonna get your dime back? You gotta get it out of that church,
gotta
don't
do,
you?
no, I gotta do a whole nother mission, but we need to help Mark kill Aaron.
Okay.
well, I'm doing this whole Razorback mess. Like, I just hacked the fuck out of it. So,
Yeah. But like,
I don't know how
consider it
far
like
I am.
if you know that we quote
Send
unquote
us
as a
everybody.
society, if we as a society aren't necessarily the cleanest, whatever, why not do your part in limiting social interaction so you yourself aren't around those same people because you know your hygiene. I trust you. I trust you to be a clean person. I don't trust people I don't know to be clean people. So why not voluntarily stay away from those people if you can help it?
Yeah.
I mean, would you
I mean,
willingly go into a room full of people who probably have the flu because you're used to the flu and people get the flu anyway, regardless of the fact that you're not going to, necessarily suffer, but you could potentially carry it into other people who can't handle it. Someone who's immunocompromised or an older person who can't handle it the same way you can. Why not just make that decision to sacrifice at least part of your social interaction to the large scale stuff? If you want to have friends over, cool. Small scale, a few people, that's fine. But we're talking about big stuff where, like you said, in a bar with 100-something people or more, then that's a breeding ground. It all it takes is one person, and that stuff spreads quickly. You're going to get serious transmission in a stuffed room with 100+ people breathing the same air, and that vapor coming from whoever. It takes one cough, it's going to start moving from person to person, especially since none of us have the antibodies like we do for some of the influenza.
The thing is, like, I hear you, and I don't disagree with y'all, but the part that really keeps hitting me, like, if I knew for a fact right now that I had the coronavirus, I would not be interacting with any person. I would be quarantining myself to my room because I would not want to pass it on to anybody. But I don't know that I have it right now, and that's the problem that a
about taking
lot
the
of people are
precautions.
having. It is about taking the precautions, but I can't. I am personally, I'm not going to live like I have it.
No one. People are living like you don't want it. That's the thing. You're living like you don't want it. So by
Yeah, and
saying if you go to work
to
and
live
you
like
go,
that.
but like other than just temporarily, because I feel like we're probably looking at a couple months of this, but temporarily declining certain social engagements just to say, hey, maybe it's better to just not be doing these particular things right now. That might be sick because you're increasing your own risk factor for you might potentially get sick as well. Because say if you have a rugby game or something, you might want to say, "Oh, I'm gonna go play rugby anyway." Your risk factor is exponential because you're getting people's water vapor, everything all over you at that point. You know what I'm
I
saying?
look at it as like safe sex, Mark. You practice safe sex. You don't want to catch nothing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's a great way to talk about it. No, you're absolutely right, and I won't say anything else about that.
Yeah, I mean, is what it is. Put on a social condom, Mark. That's what you're doing. You're wearing a social
A
condom.
social condom.
A social condom.
You're saying, hey, I'm gonna, stay home. I can talk to you over the phone or whatever else, drink at home or whatever. Or even if it's again small engagement, don't have that 100-person orgy. Just mess around with like 2 or 3 people.
100%. First of all, never in my life 100 people. No, and I definitely don't disagree. I'm looking at it. I mean, I guess I'm just looking at it from a quote unquote realistic standpoint, and I see it when I go to work that people just aren't. It's gonna spread, and I pray to God that I'm not personally affected by it.
Right. So why not do your part to not be personally affected by it? Or
I definitely wash my hands. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to make sure I'm not spreading it to anybody. And I mean,
but if Craig at the bar happens to cough and cough in your vicinity within 6 feet of you, you might still get it.
Do I kill Craig? Do I murder Craig? What do I do?
No, you just say, hey, maybe I shouldn't be around Craig or Craig-like people as much. Limit your chances of getting it. It's just limiting your chances. That's the thing. Again, it's not saying no social interaction. It's just kind of limiting your chances of contracting it. And
what's the difference between? So if there's limiting social interaction versus no social interaction, I guess some people are going to be like, well, where's the limit?
But it's a clearly defined limit. It's a clearly defined limit because you have, transmission. Your risk of transmission is much higher with the more people that you come in contact with at one given time, right? So, say for example, if you have 10 people standing in a room in a 10,000 square foot space, right? And I throw a rock at those 10 people, I might miss everybody. But you put 10,000 people in that same space and they're all standing next together, someone's gonna get hit. It's the same thing with a cough. If you're in a space with small people and no one's near you in that same thing, your likelihood that you're going to catch that, or that cough affecting you is going to be lower. Also, the fact that the more people you're going around at one time, is the more likelihood it's going to be someone who does carry. You're increasing the likelihood you're going to come across somebody with it because it's more people now. It's math. It's just numbers. If there's 10 people around you, and what's the transmission rate right now? Like 3 out of 10 or something like that, or maybe a little higher. Then just the numbers of people you're coming in contact with is going to raise your likelihood of contracting it. Or if you have it, you're more likely to spread it to more people if there are more people around.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with y'all at all. I mean, for me, I know that my behavior, I don't want to say it's not going to change. It's not going to be modified that much. I will definitely make sure to take every precaution to make sure I'm not trying to transmit to people.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, honestly, to say I'm not going to change my everyday, I guess. Like, okay, personally, if I live in North Carolina, I would not be coming over Wade because Bryson's there, and the last thing I'd want to do is be the person that got corona to him. I mean, that's the last thing I would ever want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with my own godson. I have no interest in seeing him right now due to the fact that I don't want to get him sick. If for some reason I am sick and I don't know, because I really am looking at myself being at that tournament in Savannah saying to myself, you're around all these people doing all these things, and the last thing you were thinking about was corona. I mean, if anything, we're all making jokes about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me ask you this, Mark. So, say you love rugby, you're still going to do the tournaments, you enjoy life, you're still going to go to the bars and everything.
Before you say that, though, I will say, and this is giving credit to USA Rugby, there has been a 3rd-day suspension of all practices and any USA Rugby events. So, as a team, since we do fall under USA Rugby, we've suspended all our team practices for the next 30 days. So,
okay. But just in this scenario, just say that like you want to continue, living life to the fullest, whatever. So let's just say you do get coronavirus, right? Do you think you will regret? Do you think you will look back and be like, man, I should have done something a little different? Because
I shouldn't have gone to that tournament, or
Yeah, like
Or
now,
should go
because
into that
like, now I
bar
have
or
it.
whatever.
Yeah, I wish it went in more like because now I have it, and it's like, damn, like I really, if I could rewind time, and yeah, I probably would have sat the fuck in. Do you think you would feel that way?
No,
No. So you
I don't
just
think I
like,
would. I would just be like, well, that's the luck of the fucking draw. I mean, me personally, I haven't caught the flu in I don't know how long, but that's not due to me taking any sort of like flu vaccine or anything like that. Like I said, I haven't gotten a flu shot in I don't know how many years. So
But it also isn't
I
the flu.
wouldn't be like, oh damn, I
Well,
got the virus.
let's put this scenario. What if you contracted and you're one of the handful of relatively healthy people that get more serious respiratory damage and sick, and you could have figured if you would have done stuff to just, limit your own exposure, you yourself would be all right.
I look at
Because
I
the
say that
flu's
to
the flu's
say
effects are a little different than coronavirus effects. Coronavirus, it can cause lasting effects for lasting respiratory effects that are going to put you in a bad space for life.
oh man, rugby does the same damn thing. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but an injury or something like that is different than contracting this. But here, I'm just trying to understand, what is the harm in just a temporary inconvenience to yourself
I don't think
socially?
there's any harm. I don't think there's any harm in it whatsoever. I'm just saying the being realistic about what people are going to actually do.
Well, I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about people.
Actually going to be realistic.
I'm talking about you. Why not control what you can do in that way? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, why not control Mark's social engagements? Why not control Mark's social interactions? The choices you make to be around people and do stuff like that. Why not you control that? Why not control your
I
own
know
fate
myself, and I know I'm not going to. Like
Why not?
I hate to.
I'm trying to understand. Why not?
I mean, honestly, and I don't mean it in a negative way or for it to sound snarky. I know me. I just know I'm not going to.
Do you feel like
I know that I will do it in the sense of when it comes to people who are at high risk and like babies and things like that. I would like these ladies had their kids out at this restaurant that we're not making any special protocols towards this. And you got your kids out. I would have never brought my kids out during this time. I just would not have done that because that's not responsible to do. But would I have gone out?
It's not responsible to leave your kids home, go out, and bring it back either of those.
That's that part too. So I don't know why the hell they came outside in the first place. That was the main question I asked myself. Like, why did y'all leave the house and come here?
Turrets.
Actually, yeah, we should have put a turret.
I paid $30 for this long ass mission.
Pretty much. But I mean, the thing is, you have to just take into account who might not be able to, who you don't with something like sexually transmitted disease and safe sex. You don't know who's going to be terribly affected by this kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know who's going to be affected in the same way by this stuff. Normally healthy people, but you may have someone who's immunocompromised. You may have a friend who's immunocompromised or something like that. You know what I mean?
I will say this. I do hope that while I'm out, that I do not come across anyone.
Right.
Because personally, I don't think they should be out.
Right, but like you said, you can't control what other people do, but you can control what you can.
I can't.
You can decide not to be a contributor to
that box. Alright, move to the next location.
This is happening so fast.
Oh yeah, that's a lot running around this issue. But that's the thing, like, it's just about controlling your contributions. And again, like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm demonizing you for deciding to live your life, whatever. I'm just you're my friend. I hope you understand, really understand the real risk of this kind of thing.
I do understand. Like I said, I would not, like right now in the situation, if I had the opportunity to come see Wade, I would not, because I would not want to get Bryson sick. Possibly, I would not want to be the reason as to why that happened. But I do know that I'm not doing things or going out and going places. I guess in a way I'm not going anywhere I don't unnecessarily have to go. I'm not looking for places and venues to visit. That I'm not doing. But I guess I don't know, maybe, I guess in my mind, when I think about it now, the people that I have seen within the past, I don't know, week and a half have been the same people that I've been seeing for the past week and a half. And I mean, there are a good amount of social situations that I have been. Oh man, I'm so happy you got this whole shield thing. It's unbreakable. There have been those same people, like my D&D group, or coworkers for that matter. One of my coworkers are pregnant. I mean, I don't know what that would do against or for her, but I mean, that's the thing. You know, that's something that I do think about, but I guess mentally, I don't truly expect my behavior to change only because I don't know, maybe I know myself enough to know the behavior that I'm going to.
Oh yeah, this is the BS part, by the way. Yeah.
Oh shit, yep. Get up, get back, get back.
Watch out for all the hives and
stuff. Gonna kill you fast, yeah. All that shit's gonna kill you real fast.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck. You know what? I'm gonna go in this room right here, and I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna hide.
Yeah, I'm turrets, man. These drones are the worst.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Sean.
Let's go ahead,
it's not that y'all haven't given me pause to think about it. I am going to be looking at people, and I'm not going to look at this time frame to just be like, fuck it, going out. Like I'm just not, but I'm also. I don't want to say I wouldn't self-quarantine myself because I would if I knew I had it, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's not even saying like fully quarantine. Like I said, it's just again limiting social engagement. Like, that's the main thing. Like for me, you know, again, like say it's my wife's birthday, we could have gone out and done stuff. I'm like, let me not bring her and the kid around a whole bunch of other people. Even if the kid wasn't here, you know, we can. Let me cook dinner for her at home and do something different, you know, in that way instead of potentially bringing her around that kind of thing. Like, let me do that. He can shoot that drone.
What happens if I go down into the red cloud? Do I just automatically die?
Oh, nah. I don't know what that is.
Alright, well, get ready to revive, man.
Oh, come on, no.
I gotta
get that drone that's up there.
Trying to make some moves, man. Oh, I can't even. Oh, I see what's happening.
Yo, is he immune to EMP grenades?
Everything?
I don't know. I don't even know how he's still able to use all his stuff. It doesn't make any sense, but he always make them cheap, though.
Yeah.
It's the part of the game, my friend.
Technically, we can use ours right now.
Yeah.
Watch out. Yo, shoot his pictures.
Oh shit. It's a flamethrower. Put you out up here somewhere. Did y'all kill that flamethrower?
I think so. Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh, there you go now. Alright, it's done. Yo, this vest is saving my life. I'll tell you that.
It's saving all of our lives.
Right.
Every single one of us.
Oh, that's how is he's immune from EMP grenades? That's a bull, man. I did not mean to jump down there.
He seems to be immune from my fucking bullets.
Yo, how can I not cut through this area? That's stupid.
He's healing again.
Alright.
Uh-oh, somebody do something up here.
You ever wonder what it feels like to be on the receiving end of your toys? Stay out!
Just do something up there.
Reloading!
No, kiddo, come on.
There's a turret coming up here. Something.
Oh, I'm down. Of course I'm blind. Yeah, I'm trying to get away.
That's mortars.
Yeah, he blinded me if I hit him with that rocket.
Going for the flank. We got the flank.
Oh man, he
Of course, he's immune again. God dang.
shoot that drone. He was shooting.
Rogue Stinger Hive
Shit.
detected.
Watch out.
What's a stinger hub up here?
Rogue hoaxer drone.
Shoot, I'm down.
Serious trauma detected.
Gotta have my armor up, but I guess that bonus armor went away some part.
I bet you already know
Rogue incinerator turret detected.
tougher than you look.
No, no, we'll see what,
Anyone got
see what
legs?
happens with the whole thing.
We'll get him in a minute.
Yeah, as soon as we destroy all these fucking gadgets and shit.
Inspector gadget. Ooh.
Yo, he dropped so much shit up here.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know what that is. It's hacked
Rogue
over there.
striker drone detected.
I didn't see how long we've been recording.
A real fucking idiot.
Just drop and roll. Yeah, this is the worst boss fight they've put on this
It really
game.
is, man. Like, this shit is stupid, man.
Oh, something's behind it.
Of course, my thing is out of ammo. He's immune to EMP grenades.
Yeah, and then I just threw a grenade over there, and he just, I don't even know what happened to that.
Yep, shrugged it off. Get the part where he runs away.
Yeah, getting close to it.
But yeah, this whole thing with the coronavirus. All right, yeah, he's about to go down. This whole thing with the coronavirus, it kind of makes you think of another thing that we had kind of talked about off and on a little bit when it comes to the value of human life in general, and kind of how the internet plays in that. Like, I feel like we're seeing a lot of that, especially when you consider how people are reacting right now to the coronavirus news and fighting each other for toilet paper and other essentials, and how people are hoarding stuff and selling stuff. Like those dudes, Ed, you and I talked about, who are, I think, in Ohio,
Yep.
who have like 17,000 things of hand sanitizer, and the only reason they have that much because they can't sell it because Amazon shut them down for price gouging. He was selling hand sanitizer for like $50 a pop. Started at $8 and went from $8 to $50, and was selling this stuff. A lot of people were doing it. There was a couple in Canada who they spent $70,000 on buying up all the cleaning supplies they could, and they sold it for around $100,000. So that you're talking about $30,000 in potential profit outside of whatever their cost and other stuff is. But maybe a side effect of Western civilization, or people in general, but people trying to make money on the back of a pandemic. Even certain companies aren't doing that. Like bigger companies like Walmart sent out a message that they're reducing their store hours, and they're reducing their store hours, which they could be staying. They could have said we're gonna make all stores 24 hours and try to make as much money as they could. You don't need one. So they're having reduced store hours. Publix, Giant, other grocery stores reduce store hours. Other retailers reducing store hours. Companies having people work from home and everything. But on an individual level, well, say small business level, there are some places in New York, I think, or it might have been Pennsylvania, but some stores that were investigated for price gouging. How one of their cleaning products is normally $2.99, they were selling it for $6.99.
Schaefer, do you read?
Their costs hadn't changed, but they're bumping up prices, because to try to capitalize on the demand. It's pretty fucked up. But it's kind of going along with the whole thing of just what is human life valued in general by people. When you think about the mass shootings that we're having, being carried about certain people, involving strangers that have nothing to do with whatever they're mad about or feel some kind of way about. Those incel type dudes, like I can't remember the dude's name, but went off and killed some women because he couldn't, wasn't getting his way with whatever, it was a young dude. I think it was like California, so I can't remember his name. But people involved in strangers kind of stuff, and then you just turn around and look at the internet, how people react and talk to each other, and the fact that trolling, terrible trolling, where people use, they troll victims of tragedies, all kinds of stuff, just for shits and giggles online and for likes. You know, what the fuck, man?
What you mean?
I mean, just think about,
Yeah.
is the human life just that worth that little? Just because you're millions of miles away from somebody, or even just thousands of miles away, or a dozen, because it could be somebody the next town over. But just because you're somewhat anonymous, or you're on a different side of a computer screen, that you can't have civil discussions with anybody without trying to troll or antagonize or anything just to interact with another person.
Right. Yeah.
Like, why is that a thing? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't understand that. Some people, like, you remember the whole thing, like 4chan and 8chan and stuff. Those communities and the toxic parts of those communities, like, how is that even a thing? Like, why do people think that's okay? Like, how do we even get to that point?
Because people have free will. That's just, I mean, as much good as you may have in the world, you have to give credence, or you have to give way to believe that there's going to be that much bad, and that's just you can't have one without the other. I know that's more of a more of a up there kind of thinking, but that's how I look at it. You
I mean,
cannot have that. You can't have great things without horrible things.
I believe in
That's just me.
balance to an extent, but if you think about what is it about the telecommunication, internet communication, that exacerbates that the way it does. Because you would have back in the day people writing in anonymous letters to newspapers and all kinds of stuff, but is it that prevalent, and does it exist in so many people and the internet is just enabling it, or is it just that extra factor of I can be whoever I want to be online compared to real life? Because Mike Tyson said it best: everyone has a plan to get punched in the face, and the thing is, on the internet you can't get punched in the face. There are no repercussions in a lot of ways for being a
That's
jackass
true.
online. you
That
know
fear keeps you that fear of not wanting to be physically assaulted keeps you quiet,
yeah. So
and
there's no
that's just
deterrent.
true. There
What's
is no
the
deterrent.
what's the deterrent? If you you know people don't take any type of effort for a number of things. I'll liken it to crimes. Compare, say, gun crime, like murders with gun, compared to murders with like knives and bare hands and stuff like that. This is going to sound kind of, I don't want to sound too cynical or too, morbid, but there's a certain level of effort required to harm another human being with your own hands or with a knife or whatever like
Yeah.
that. Compared to with a gun, maybe the internet's like a gun. It just makes it so much easier to do something thoughtlessly, and at no
Yeah.
point
Nah,
do
I
you
get
have
it.
a chance to you have no chance to reconsider what you're doing, because you can just type something up real fast and hit send, just like anywhere else. You pull a trigger and you either regret it later, or you might be a monster who doesn't regret it at all. you know
Nah, I definitely get it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. A lot of people can be a big man behind a computer screen.
yeah. One thing I try to understand is, and I just tend to stop communicating or arguing. Like, I love debating. That's one of the reasons I'm on the podcast. I like discussing topics with people, but there's no benefit in
Please
doing
go
that
right quick.
online a lot of times. You know, in a lot of ways, there's really no reason for me. I get no joy from interacting with certain strangers online in a certain way, because either there are some who will engage with you out of good faith. And you can have a discussion that goes somewhere. Compared to there's going to be just those people who troll, who either they're going to try to dox you, or they're going to try decide they want to not take something seriously, or they just want to make stupid comments or whatever, or they just don't want to listen, and then they're going to keep saying what they're saying, and they decide to get online and put something vile up. Like, go to World Star Hip Hop, which is already a shit website, but the comment section and a lot of that is people just saying what they can to shock,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you see the grossest, most racist or sexist stuff on there because people are just trying to be funny, you know. Or they
Mm-hmm.
may really feel that way. Who knows? But that's one of the reasons I really don't engage with strangers online that way compared to, no one's going to act that way in person if you're having a discussion with them. Because they know that there's a danger that if they say the wrong thing at a particular time, you might punch them in the face.
Yep.
Or get slapped.
Yeah.
Like that one neo-Nazi who was having an interview and basically talking about, I can't remember he was talking about
Oh boy,
Jews or
got
whatever
that.
else, but he got, like, someone came across his jaw with 5 fingers, for 4 fingers in
Fucking
front of him.
I forgot his name.
Was it Spencer? Was it Richard Spencer?
Richard Spencer, yeah. Because I
Yeah, I
was
think it
thinking
was Spencer.
Stephen Miller or somebody. Yeah, it was Richard Spencer.
Yeah. So on the internet, you can't do that. Of course, you have people who will threaten
Well,
to dox
here's
you
the
and stuff
thing.
like that if you're out, but nothing's going to happen.
Here's the thing, though. We say that, and there have been people who have done things, went viral online, and there were real life repercussions to their actions.
Yeah, but that's far and away a
So, I mean,
smaller
I don't think
percentage of
it's.
people. It's way easier and less detrimental to be a shit person on the internet than it is to be a shit person in real life. You know, because think about those stories. We do hear about people getting pulled and doing stuff online, doing terrible stuff online, or saying something they shouldn't have said. And compared to just the tens of thousands, not millions of people who do it without any consequence either. Mostly because they weren't dumb enough to do it on a profile with their real name, and
Right.
saying something on their company account or something with
They
their
still
picture
got a
on or something
level of
identifiable.
anonymity,
Yeah,
Just like a lot of those racists who were marching with the tiki torches and stuff, they thought that shit was okay until somebody started posting pictures of them and they started getting fired from their jobs and everything.
Sure did, exactly.
yeah,
So yeah, they thought they can get away with the shit.
yeah. And I understand that there's going to be a certain level of awfulness, essentially, when it comes
Where's
to a
that?
country that values free speech.
I went back to Washington D.C. so I can see if Cassie Mendoza's over here.
Oh yeah,
And
she's
check to
supposed to
see
open
if
up
she's
soon.
here.
Yeah, remember she's in the top left of the map.
Yeah.
Is she there?
I can't go in the group though because I guess Mark still can't go back to D.C. yet.
Nah, he got to talk to those other people.
Where's the other people? Who have to
Is
call?
she there? Is she
100
there?
Jupiter.
I'm trying to find her right now. I'm looking for her now.
What is this? Seasonal manhunt? What the fuck is this?
Who played this card?
How do I get the fuck out of here? How do I leave? Washington.
Just keep you in circle.
You don't leave.
Yeah, I want to select. Yeah, send me back to America.
Yeah, well the pilot is like somewhere over the corner. Back to America. I don't like New York. Send me back to America.
I don't want to be here. Okay, I'm fast traveling to the White House.
All right. Ready up, wait. Yeah, I don't.
All right,
I don't
perfect.
know
Now we're
how
back
to
to the real
solve that
world.
kind
Did
of
we
thing.
touch on the topic? Well, was there any other left open topic?
Nah, we were just kind of
Spitballing there.
Yeah.
This is when it gets
That's
good,
something so-
folks. This is
Well,
when
no,
it gets
these
good.
are these were things we were talking about. Just kind of expanding on those and stuff, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, this whole I remember I told you that I wanted to talk about the whole how Trump is going to try and use this situation. He's going to try and politicize it, and this is just
he
a
has.
conspiracy inside.
No,
of
he
me.
has.
Yeah.
He already has. Did
What?
you hear
I
about?
missed it.
No, did you hear about the thing? So I think it's the director at the CDC, or one of the top people at the CDC, apparently brought this coronavirus information to Trump in January, and he basically was trying to suppress stuff because he felt like it was going to hurt his chances for re-election. The NPR
Yeah.
reported on this. So anything you think might be a conspiracy, it probably isn't, because he's already. Trump used a misinformation campaign to get elected, and he uses misinformation campaigns.
Well,
all
I
the
think
time.
that information, though,
Yeah.
that particular information is not going to affect the people that I would like for it to affect. Because the people who have that information or read that information are already looking at him saying, yeah, absolutely, sure he did. But I think what the people that need to be affected are, like, and maybe I'm a dumbass, I didn't realize that when you are president, you obviously run again if you can be reelected, but you can pick a new VP.
Yeah.
I
Your
did
VP
not
doesn't
know
have to be
that.
VP. While the VP was elected, he's the running mate. You
Here's the
know.
crazy shit that I'm thinking myself. What is keeping Mike Pence from running for president?
Well, so the thing is, the reason he wouldn't run right now is there's very few examples of a person in a particular party challenging the incumbent president of the same party and winning. Like he would have had
However,
to run that campaign to become. He would have to basically unseat Trump as the Republican nominee for president, which means Trump will not get reelected, and Pence will take over. Pence, he'll probably just wait until after the second term, like most VPs do, and go ahead and run for reelection
I,
or run for election for president. If he
my
even wants it,
mentality
who knows if he
is,
wants it? Because I kind of feel like he's like a cartoon villain when he's just kind of like running a lot of stuff behind scenes and people don't know it's him. He's just kind of going along with it, but he's actually pulling strings behind. I
Yo,
think kind of
Ed,
like Dick Cheney in a lot of
Yeah.
ways.
quick question. Did you get, you remember when we killed Neptune?
Yeah.
Got too much stuff in there.
Did you get the EMP sticky bomb?
okay.
I don't know. I didn't
Well,
even check.
Because I didn't see it on mine, and I was just wondering.
You
Let me
should.
see.
so fun question. What are we doing right now?
Oh
What are we?
no, I didn't. I thought. Oh no, do we get it from Neptune or from
I
Jupiter?
don't know.
I think we get it from Jupiter.
No, I don't have the EMP sticky bomb.
Maybe it is from Jupiter. I thought it was from.
I don't know what we're doing right now. I don't know what the
It's a
plan
reward.
is.
It's a reward for Jupiter. I just looked in the manhunt thing. Yeah, we gotta take all four, the other three lieutenants out in Jupiter.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, Mark. What were you saying?
No, what are we doing right now? I don't. I'm going through my inventory looking to see what guns I have that are worth my time. And
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that I'm about to take this purple and use it because it's just better than what the fuck I have. So
Right.
now I feel sad.
I'm gonna probably hop off around like 9 o'clock. So.
Well, that's
What
fine. We've
time is
been
it
go-
now?
It's 8:49. We've been going for a minute. So, ladies and gentlemen who are listening, we appreciate you listening to us. We might ramble a little bit, but hopefully enjoy these
Absolutely.
topics. If not,
Roger that.
check us out next week. You might like them then. But again, this is episode 3 of the Gamerside Chat podcast. We appreciate you being here, and we out.